So here's a very controversial story. Despite it being controversial, I think I have my mind pretty much made up on this. But this story says, Proud Boys run out of LA by Democratic Socialists calling them fascist. So if you don't know what the Proud Boys are, I think the Proud Boys were they were founded by this guy named Gavin McInnes, who's like this weird sexist, weird guy. He's a very he shoved like a butt plug up his ass during during a show or something like that. I'm not even kidding right now. I'm serious. And it's just, I don't know, man. He's a really weird guy. He was telling a woman on Fox News that she should stay at home because she's happier there and she shouldn't be working. So he's fucking insane. But that's what the Proud Boys are now. Of course, you guys know about the DSA. Now, this is not the first time that the DSA has done something like this. The DSA also, they protested Kirsten Nielsen when she was at I think she was at a Mexican restaurant, funny enough, very weird. To separate her child separation policy that was put in place. Now, they also did this to Milo Yiannopoulos, where they basically shouted him out of a restaurant. Now, the Milo case, that I don't know, I'm still a little bit torn on that, but here's what the Hill says. It says, members of the far-right Proud Boys were chased out of a Los Angeles bar on Saturday by a group of Democratic Socialist protesters. Video from the incident shows the left-wing activists shouting, "No Proud Boys, no KKK, no Fascist USA," at the group at LA bar The Griffin. The LA chapter of the Democratic Socialist of America shared the video of the incident on Twitter, in which their members and others from anti-gentrification group Defend Northeast Los Angeles can be heard chanting and yelling, "Fuck you, fascist. Get out of here, Nazi, and fascist pigs, squeal, you're all swine." The Proud Boys are a far-right organization of band that was started by a former member of Vice Media. They describe themselves as Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. They say they are anti-racist and anti-racial guilt, but the Southern Poverty Law Center describes them as an extremist group because members use white nationalist memes and associate themselves with other extremists. Quote, "Last night, our members and allies in Defend Northeast LA ran a Proud Boy meetup out of the Griffin in Atwater Village," the DSA wrote on Twitter. "The bar knew about it and the manager defended them, but we shut it down anyway. Don't let Nazis convene in your city." All right, I'm against this. Don't do this. Don't do this. This doesn't make sense because, and I'll tell you why. If this is the precedent you set, not only are you talking about, okay, now it's cool to just go in and just shout down people, these super obscure people, not obscure in that sense, but I mean it's sort of obscure as to how you determine who you can shout down and who you can't. But is your solution really this sort of, let's get together, follow this person around while they're going wherever, this group around, and then go shout them down? This is getting out of hand, man. So there's the one issue to me of, okay, are you going to do this to, everyone? Where do you draw the line of, okay, this group not, this group yes, and where do you draw the line of this person yes, this person no? Where do you draw that line? That's my question, because I feel like, okay, what is this going to be? Is political discourse in the United States just going to turn into, okay, all these different factions going into restaurants and shouting each other down? I don't want political discourse to really come down to that. And honestly, I know I'm going to get heat for this, but honestly, I think that this is not a good idea. I don't think it looks good either. Why even waste your time with the Proud Boys anyways? Who cares? Honestly, you're giving the Proud Boys more validation, if anything, because nobody cares about the Proud Boys. They're losers. Their own name is embarrassing enough. No one cares about the Proud Boys. It's literally a just group of circle jerk dudes who that's pretty much all they are. I mean, it's really embarrassing. Don't do this. But then the other side of the coin is, what happens if you're talking about let's say the roles flip. Let's say that now the DSA goes somewhere and then fascist groups or far-right or alt-right or whatever, white nationalist groups start coming in and shouting them down. Then it's okay, this has just become this has become chaos, because now you're talking about, okay, yeah, we're going to go and shout these guys out of these restaurants while they're trying to go eat. Come on, bro. What the fuck is that? I'm tired of this shit. Don't fucking do this. There's no reason to do this whatsoever. Now, one thing I will say, though, is doing it to political, actual congressional members and stuff like that may be a little bit different. But you can't just go around, shouting everyone down, man. Are you kidding me? Really?